Anyone else care to speak on this?
Hi, Caitlin Waterstrat, 14056 Quanbeck Trail. I would just agree with what has been said already, and also note the environmental concerns. I know we've talked about the eagle's nest and the eagle. I've actually seen 2 eagles out there in that nest, so I believe it's probably a pair, right? And the woods and wetlands in that area are contiguous with Big Woods State Park. It's all part of an ecosystem, and an ecosystem that's very unique, and there are species that are unique to only a few counties in Minnesota. I also recently moved to this property within the last couple of years with the intention of it being peaceful and quiet. I have a young family that drives into Northfield on a regular basis. So I'm also concerned with traffic and the impact that that has on safety, dust control, and noise pollution as well, and how that noise pollution will not only affect our enjoyment of the area, but the impact that that has on the wildlife as well. Thank you.
Thanks. Anyone else?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Gene Peterson. I live at 11128 Carroll Trail. My property abuts this mining proposal. I have something here I'd like to give to you guys to look at, and I'll come back. This, I found this today, and I apologize. I only heard about this 5 days ago, so I've been trying to scramble and get stuff. And here are pictures of the past, how they used to look out before, excuse me, I should. The pictures I handed you is how my property used to look like before they started tinkering with the water levels out there. Oh, I forgot my notes. They're back at the desk.
I think this. I think.
Sorry about that. Anyways, after reading this IUP thing, it brought a lot of questions to mind for me, because I'm the only landowner that has Prairie Creek runs through, which is a protected waterway. And my question is to you guys, or to the Matthew Construction, is what can go wrong when you're mining either in a flood zone or nearby an existing flood zone? Well, some of the concerns and answers I would like to hear is, will this protective beam that protect Prairie Creek, will it run from my property all the way to Halverson's property? And how high will it be? Okay, that's one question. And there's a field access that crosses the creek there, where the bank has been lowered in order to get farm equipment to the backside. How will that be protected, and how will they get to the other side of the creek in the summertime? Will they open the floodgates to let them through? My third concern is, in heavy flooding events or heavy rains, which have occurred several times there in my lifetime, I've been here almost 30 years, so I've seen enough of what goes on. Will the overburdened trees, fuel, and other mining contaminants end up in the creek when it blows out the berm? Will it be on Halverson's property? Will it be on my property, or will it be downstream? That's another concern. And when they drain the existing wetlands that you have pictures thereof, and I would be left with a mud flat that's all it's good for is breeding mosquitoes and other insects that we don't want. And then how long do I have to, oh, here's my last thing. How will my existing wetlands and my water level in my fields be protected? Will the Donkers build, or Matthew build a berm on their property to protect my wetlands or not? If not, how long will it be before they restore the wetlands on my property? And who will pay for it? So my biggest concern is I've made an effort to make Prairie Creek.
3 minutes, sorry.
Hello, I'm Curtis Ingolstead. I live at 11894 150th Street East. I found out about this last night through a text from my good neighbor, JR, who was just up here. And I find it odd, like a lot of these things that go on, like, you know, like he was talking about is that I've never even heard, I didn't hear anything about this. But just, you know, I'm here to support of course, my neighbors and my family. I have a family, you know, that, with drivers about to be launched into the world. I've got, a lot of reservations about the traffic and everything, but the real things that I'm hearing here is one is, I mean, there wasn't even a environmental study done. So that was one of the things that you guys asked for last time. So that wasn't even done, and the traffic study is not complete. It's not a complete traffic study, and I mean, those are the only glaring things that are really here. So it was voted down 2 years ago. I don't understand why it would even be here today if they haven't even followed through on what they're supposed to do. So that's all I have. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening. My name is Nick Horan, and I live at 13851 Clonbeck Trail. I'd like to take a moment just to start to thank the committee. I know we've had a lot of voices tonight, and you guys have been patient through all of this as we each came up and shared our comments, so thank you. I appreciate it. I live near the proposed excavation site. My wife and I purchased the land in 2017. A few years later, we built our home there. We welcomed 2 children into our family. My daughter's second birthday is actually tomorrow, so we're a young family living in that area. Our extended family moved into the neighboring communities. They actually moved state lines just to come and be close to us and join this community and be part of it. I share this because we've set roots here. We're hoping to make this our forever home, and we want this to be the place that we raise our kids and that they grow up and cherish too. What wasn't in our plan was navigating the risks introduced by a mining facility or a mining pit nearby. My family and I, my friends, my neighbors, as you can hear, we travel Kane Avenue every day. It's a place that we're going to be all the time, and we're about to share that with an estimated 200 gravel trucks per day. I worry about the effect on my children's health as well. Dust and contaminants kicked up by the mining and the crushing operations nearby are a big concern for me. A recent study in the International Journal of Environmental Research found an average 20% reduction in lung function among residents within nearby areas of a quarry or pit like this. I'm dismayed by these risks. I think this is a serious problem for my family. Prairie Creek and the connected wetlands downstream will certainly be impacted too. Years of improperly disposed waste will be reintroduced to the environment, and mining below the water level means pumping into neighboring areas. Milestone Materials has promised to restore the site after they've dug a 30-foot deep hole, but they won't be able to repair the damage to the wetlands. Tonight, you've heard concerns from many of my neighbors. There were many more local community members who couldn't make it here on such short notice. You've heard the challenges there, but their opinions and ours was unanimous. We oppose this request. Your predecessors reviewed the same proposal in 2021, and it was voted down then as well. At that time, sitting member Michael Strife initiated a motion against the permit based on, quote, lack of information related to traffic studies, support of Rice County Planning Commission infrastructure, and understanding the impact to waterways. In this new application for permit, Andrew Peters has not addressed these concerns. No study has been conducted or reviewed to assess the health, safety, environmental, economic, and infrastructure costs that are imposed to the local area. These studies are critical in making an informed decision, and they're still missing. Further, it's clear that the intention is to follow this permit with a request for excavation, with crushing and asphalt processing, as evidenced by the discussion we've had. We should consider today's request as though it's both parts, because it will be that first step toward both. So I ask you, how much are you willing to risk as a community in pursuit of convenient gravel? I hope you can weigh the real costs appropriately and vote against the request. Thank you.
Thanks. Anyone else?
Ken Label, 13256 Lime Avenue. My property is directly to the east of this property up on the hill there. You might have saw it. You can kind of see in some of the pictures. Things that concern me, the noise. I mean, I can hear traffic on 246 from my place. I can't imagine having this all day long. The other thing was, worst case scenario was 40 trucks an hour. Think about that. That's one every minute and a half. Even if it's, if it's 20, that's every 2 minutes or every, 3 minutes, you'd have a truck going through. If I read the actual permit, says in granting and reviewing conditional permit, says among other things, the following findings shall be made. We talked about values, right? One of them was, the use will be sufficiently compatible or separate by a distance or screening from adjacent agriculture or residentially zoned or used land, so the existing homes will not be depreciated in value and there's be no deterrence to develop vacant land. And the other one was the use will not cause traffic hazard or congestion. I don't think you can answer yes to either one of those. Thank you.
Thanks. Anyone else?
Dawn Christensen, 10665 James Trail, Northfield. I live directly across the street. And I just found out about this yesterday. I'm concerned about the traffic as I take 246 every day to work for the past 35 years. To the left of me, all the traffic, the trucks, there's a blind spot. There's gonna be accidents. What about our wells? What's gonna happen? I live right next to it. I've been there since 1999. Please take consideration.
Anyone else?
Excuse me. My name is Justin Zittel, 8041 230th Street. I've got a few questions for the Matthew group. I don't know if there's been anything spelled out for added turn lanes, added bypass lanes for entrance in and out of the pit. I don't know the details of the traffic study, but I would imagine with 400 trucks a day, asphalt production, you're gonna need definite infrastructure improvements as far as that goes for the safety of the traveling public. Another one would be, how deep are we going with this mine? Is there any parameters? How long, I mean, that's gonna control how long they're there. How many deposits they're actually gonna pull out of the water. I think that's pretty significant information to know. Also pit entrance, I would imagine there's gonna be a lot of tracking coming in and out of there. Is there anything, if this were to pass, that stipulates how far into the mine would need to be paved? I think that's pretty much, well, I guess one more thing would be what's Matthew's production goals? What kind of volume do they plan to pull out of here for gravel in a year? Do they have anything like that? 14 acres doesn't seem like a whole lot to me for a mine. I'm in the mining industry. And I would assume the goal here is an asphalt plant, if I had to guess. Which it'd be nice if we could be transparent about that, but I see why they're not. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Anyone else this moment? We have anyone online? Seeing no one else, we will close it to the public and bring it back up here.